I'm sorry for delay. Yeah. Anyway, have you started communicating with everything, or then how far have you been discussing so far? Or it's just about to start now, or it's recording?
We just started. We were just briefing on what our topic will be, as Arthur was suggested on WhatsApp to say we.
Am I audible?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can hear you both.
Okay, Elmont, you want to go first? I think you wanted to say something. Hello, Elmont, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm listening.
So as I was saying, Elmont, to say Arthur and I we were briefing on our topic as to what is it that we can most likely to focus on, as is
Lucas
made a brief
I think is it my network or Lucas' network is slowing down?
I don't know.
Arthur, I can hear you from your
side. Lucas.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your network is breaking up badly.
Okay. How is it now?
Arthur?
Yes, I can hear you clear, Elman, but Lucas's network, I think, is
connected.
Well, can you hear me?
Lucas?
Can you hear me?
Lucas?
Yes, I can hear you, Arthur. Can you hear me?
Hi, Lucas.
Can you hear me, guys?
No, you're still breaking up a bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, just now you were better. Maybe try to move around, because sometimes you are better, sometimes it loses connection.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, now it's perfect.
Yeah, you can. We can hear you clearly now, Lucas.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's
okay. Elmont, right before you sign up or look in, we were trying to briefly look at the topic that Arthur was suggesting on WhatsApp to say, how about we look at BYOD as our angle to approach this discussion, basically, and of which he also broke it down to indicate to say BYOD is when the learners, they have to bring their own devices in class, and of which it's going to help the teachers to facilitate learning and teaching in the class. Can you hear me?
Lucas, your network again, it's gone.
Okay. Arthur, can you hear me? Arthur, can you hear me? Yo, my network is bad. Okay, let me just try to relocate. Yo, it's gonna be hard stuff here. I'm trying to find
Lucas, we've lost you for a minute.
I'm moving around. Yo, I'm in Limpopo now. The network is a hassle getting it here. Can everybody hear me now?
Lucas?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah. Now it's
yes, better. Lucas.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, yes. We can hear you.
Okay, cool. So as I was saying, Almond, to say Arthur and I, we were briefly looking at the topic that he suggested based on BYOD. As to BYOD, it's basically bringing your own devices in class. So he basically was he was looking at we should approach that topic, or specifically, as it's one of the most important topics in South African education currently, looking at the situation or circumstances that we had of COVID-19. So he thought we should approach the BYOD, bring your own devices in both private and public schools as well.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yesterday, since we had a little bit of network connection,
Yeah.
I think we're talking similarly about more or less the same thing. It's just that the way I was suggesting it was a little bit broader.
Okay.
But yeah, I like
Yes.
Arthur's idea to narrow it down to a single topic as such. To say, yeah, if learners or everyone like as such, or bring your own device as such. And now in that aspect, it's a little bit specific compared to the way we were suggesting it yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, Arthur.
Yeah.
I think as a person of interest,
Yes,
or basically the person that suggested the topic, can you take us a little bit on it?
yes.
And we can see as well as to where
Yes,
we're
we
going
had
with it.
also me and Yalman had also discussion yesterday, and is also falling in line with his ideas. He mentioned that if one of the educators is getting sick, and then we can remotely send out learner content to our learners via their BYOD devices, their own personal devices. So there will always be a connection between the teacher and the pupil if pupils are using their own devices. So we can see there are many advantages when pupils are using their smartphones or tablets and bring it to school, and they can also take it home and do their homework on their own devices. And after school, if they have questions, they can also contact the teacher. So there will be always
Constant communication.
Even if the teacher falls ill and he stays for a week at home, that you were discussed yesterday, Elmond.
Yeah. Because the way I was suggesting it yesterday, was that you see, looking at current statistics, usually like around Gauteng, since I'm working in Gauteng, I was looking at an article whereby they were analyzing teacher absenteeism at work. So one of the things that they noticed that teachers have frequent absenteeism at work due to sicknesses or maybe COVID-related things as such. Like you, Arthur, last you mentioned that you were not feeling well as such for COVID and stuff like that. So by allowing that learners to be able to bring their own devices as such, or in my case, the way I suggested it was that if in a school, usually schools there's usually single or multiple laptops as such, and some schools we do have access to projectors and internet connections. Okay. So in that aspect, if a teacher can be able to remotely use their own device to, when they are capable to do that, even when they are on sick leave as such, they can be able to send through content as to how learners should be doing the whole day in terms of maybe for now, since we have this PYEs, they will be able to assist the learners based on the content that the teacher provides for a week. That this is the guidance of what should be done during this week in my absence, looking at the teacher, what you call ATP, annual teaching plans as such. So now if you narrow it down to say the learners bring in their own devices, in fact, it just enhances the idea. It makes it better because if the teacher has access to their own device wherever they are, and they can be able to use it, and they have content online where they'll be able to share with the learners. So it just makes it better to say that learners will be able to be in constant communication. Whether maybe there are different platforms. It might be via WhatsApp, it might be via Google Classrooms. There are many other websites that then can enable that to be successful.
Yes, absolutely. That was very mouthful, Elmont. And so to add a little bit on that is just to say, the fourth industrial revolution, it's the future. There's no way we can deny that with technologies bringing so much into the learning and teaching space. And if we look currently, like you're saying, in Gauteng, despite being from private school or public schools, technology has played a very huge role. And like we had an informal brief discussion with Arthur earlier on to say, I was asking the question based on the socio-economic status of the learners, where they're coming from, to say, what about those learners that are coming from previously disadvantaged families? And it was says no, but if you look statistically in South Africa, every household at some point, it does have a device or a cell phone device or whatever the device may be. So we cannot have a learner that might come to school to say, or make an excuse to say that they don't have a cell phone. So the question is, how do they communicate with their families or their friends, wherever they are, in whatever the digital space that they might likely to communicate? And one of the additions that he alluded to was to say schools, normally they do have whatever they what is this limited technological resources that they may have, they might also use to borrow those learners or few learners that what is this that are present at that particular time. They don't have those devices. So at some point you're able to bridge the gap between learning and teaching using those devices in school. So yeah, I understand what you're saying, Elmont, and it's very mouthful. Yes, thanks.
Yeah. Lucas, can I briefly come in there?
Yeah.
We must remember that our project should be in line with UNESCO Mobile Learning Week. So the emphasis should be falling on mobile devices. That's why I suggested BYOD. Do you see? Yeah. It is schools have resources, but for instance, at my school, we have only 20 computers. And I have a class of 40 people, and they get only once or twice a week, they can go to the lab. So if we are using the BYOD system, the bring your own device system, we will have more access to technology, more time and more access. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, that's
yes.
So basically, all right, that's okay. That's the topic that we agree on, or more or less the theme that we are agreeing on. And then the other aspect is to discuss on roles, on what to do, because now we have to write there. Remember, I've sent the screenshot saying that we should be based on this. We should create, or we should choose on what we are supposed to write on. Maybe there are 3 items: concept notes, a working paper, or an open editorial for a newspaper.
Yes.
Yeah. So now maybe I don't know. Maybe the way I understand it, I think the meeting was basically so that we can be able to have a basic theme where we can be able to structure your writing on whatever you choose to write. So now, since we do have a theme and we have a basic understanding of where we're trying to go on how to approach this assessment. So maybe the next part should be on which of those each should be doing. And I don't know, maybe after or maybe
Elman, can you just give clarity regarding the 3
the individual task?
Yeah, the concept of working paper or open editorial. Do each member have to do one?
I think it says because now, they say you may only do one of the following as per discussion with your group. So that's an individual task. So
yes, because it's 3 of us.
Okay, let me just read it. Let me rather read it as it is. It says.
Yeah, so I'll do the open editorial if it is okay with you.
Can Elmon read the instruction once more so that we can get it clear once again, and we'll agree on it.
Okay. At the top there it says, before tackling the individual task, you may you must have concluded your planning or as a group and having submitted your virtual discussion and policy forum panel members sheet. So that one, I've been trying to look on Blackboard. I didn't find the forum panel sheet, whatever that was. I think it's the Excel that you've mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So
they say during your discussion.
Oh, you're creating it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So now they're saying that during the discussion, you should have decided on the allocation of the individual task. You may not do the same. You may not do the same task as one another.
So that means all those.
Hence,
three.
I say that
all those three.
All those three.
Yeah, we're doing all of them, but each person is going to be doing one of those tasks. 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the expectation is that the group members can act as critical readers. However, this is an expectation, but not a requirement.
Yeah.
So we have to do all those 3, and yeah, they say you should make use of suitable graphics for all documents and reflect on a unified theme as designed during the group work. The design must be uniform and what they say? Oh, the design must be uniformly applied to the individual files.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
3 tasks,
we should members. We should all choose one task to do, and then maybe after we can sort of review what each other's work and see if whether we are all on the right track.
Yeah.
On this thread, I don't know. I know an open editorial. I don't know what the working paper should look like or what a concept note is. So I think I'll have to go and look through and see what those should be, the format of those.
What could be a concept note, Ate?
The concept note, how it's almost like a planning paper. What is your concept for the learning week, the UNESCO conference going to be?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Because
I'm trying to understand, but I'm not sure if I follow.
You know what? I'm checking here. It's let me see, because I'm trying to. You know, basically it's like a concept note here. For example, it says it's outlined all the research proposals, which is submitted by the research worker or research group as a basis for seeking funding. You understand? So I feel like it's more like an outline of everything that we're just going to be writing about, and what our discussion is going to be based on. The way I look at it here.
Oh, yeah. Now, yeah.
Do you understand?
Now I do understand. I think it's similar to the previous assessment that we were doing as a group as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
I think I understand what's required there on a concept.
Yeah, because I think on this one, we're just basically gonna we're making an outline of our topic. Remember, we've chosen the what is this? The title now, or the specific narrow part of our research, that is BYOD. So now we're just gonna create the BYOD as a title, and then we outline all those concepts that are very useful into our discussion. So I feel like it's more like a summary, the note summary of everything that we're just gonna be looking at.
I think.
I don't know if you follow. Hello?
Yeah. Now I understand it now. Lucas,
I think
we're losing you sometime.
Yeah, I think we're still going to do a little bit of a research on what our specifications are. I think it's fine. Yeah, Arthur.
Yeah. They say the definition of a concept note is a short document that written by researchers before starting their research project, with the purpose of explaining what the study is about, why it is important, and the methods that will be used.
Yes, because I just saw another document now. It says the concept note format. It says the summary of the action.
I'm familiar with.
It says the summary of the action.
I think I can be able to do that. I understand what's.
Yeah, because I also see it. It says the concept note format. It says it should indicate the summary of the action, the relevance, the methodology or sustainability, like you indicated, Arthur, to say what are the methodology. And the last part, the expertise and operational capacity. So I think it's just an outline of how you're going to tackle this research or the discussion per se. Now I understand it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna share the documents right now on WhatsApp, right? Currently.
Because the way I think it's similar. Okay, now I've been looking here and I'm looking at what a working paper is. Yeah. So I think they are more or less similar. It's just that working paper, the way I see it, it's sort of a short summarized version of the entire research document. It means that you will have to you're gonna have to find a framework to base your research on and follow a specific methodology, maybe quantitative or qualitative as a study. So yeah, that's just what I think it should be.
Is it safe to say it looks basically concept note? It looks a little bit of what is it, like a proposal, research proposal. It does have those little bit of the concept.
Yeah, a concept. Yeah, it's designed that way because it's in a way of a research proposal, the concept note.
Okay.
Then the working paper, it's in a way it's a summary of okay, not a summary but a short. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, in a way it is a summary of the entire.
So it's an abstract. It's an abstract.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. It's an abstract of the entire paper.
Okay. Yeah. So when somebody reads the working paper, should understand the content of the entire discussion of our paper as to what is it that it talks about. So they should have an understanding or brief understanding of what the paper is all about.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else, gentlemen, that you feel like we need to discuss about? I'm not sure if there is, but if there is, Arthur Elmont, if there's anything.
Yeah. So who's going to do what, Lucas?
I can work on the.
Who's going to do the concept note? Who's going to do the
working paper? I'll do the working.
The working paper and the last one.
Okay, I'll do the concept note.
It's an editorial, a working paper,
and the concept note.
Then
I'll do the concept note. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When is the...
So are you going to do the concept note?
No, I'll do the working paper. Lucas says he'll do the concept
note. Okay, so I'll do the open editorial.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine.
When is the assignment? When is the assignment due? Anyone have an idea on the due dates?
I think just holding a moment. I'm on my computer.
Okay.
Assessment task of assessment.
Lucas, I think you can stop the recording now so that it doesn't have to be too long. Because so far, I think we've discussed all this.
All right, cool. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. No, rather, no ladies. Thank you very much.